folks, the Filipina P here. And last Friday, I mentioned that I've been receiving a record number of emails from guys having problems when dating Filipinas. So as promised, here's another mailbag video. But this time, we have 4 confused viewers instead of the usual 3. We get a man whose girlfriend is so shy, she won't even kiss. A guy who's just not getting any attention from the native population. A man who believes you gotta try it before you buy it. And a married Filipina that just won't keep her top on. I guarantee you're gonna love this one. So just sit back and get ready to enjoy the next 20 minutes. Since we have a bonus email today, let's get started. Our first question comes from Mortified in Mindanao, who writes, Dear P, please don't think I'm an uptight prude. I'm actually a very laid-back guy. But I have a situation that's bothering me and I need your advice so I don't make a blunder with my girlfriend and her daughter. I'm 56 and my girlfriend is 39, so there's not a huge age gap, and I hope to marry her someday. Her daughter just turned 20 and has a newborn baby that she cares for. We all currently live together in the same place, and even though the baby cries a lot, I raised a child of my own once upon a time, so I know what a mother has to go through, and it's no big deal. The daughter is welcome to stay with us as long as she needs. So anyway, let me explain why I wrote you. Since it doesn't directly involve me, it might be best to shut up about it, but I want to get your opinion. Now, it's only natural that a mother needs to feed her child, and when we're in the privacy of our own home, it's not unusual for the daughter to breastfeed in my presence. Like I said, I'm not a prude, and I take it as a compliment that she feels comfortable enough around me. But last weekend, we were all invited to a Fiesta celebration at a neighbor's house. And despite the fact that the place was packed with men of all ages, my future daughter-in-law exposed her breasts and made no effort to cover up when feeding the baby. Although they were trying not to be obvious about it, I could clearly see the men were staring at her, and I had the urge to grab a blanket and throw it over her chest. Even when my girlfriend appeared, she just walked right past her daughter without saying a word. Is this normal here? Where I come from, women usually try to be discreet and either sit in a corner or at least partially cover themselves. But that was definitely not the case here. It was out on display for anyone to see. Like I keep saying, I'm not offended by the sight of bare breasts, but it strikes me as a little odd that in such a conservative religious culture, behavior like that is acceptable, especially when you already have a surplus of teen mothers. Now, I know it's not my responsibility, but I was thinking about bringing this whole thing up with my girlfriend. Maybe she didn't realize how obvious it was, or maybe somehow she still doesn't know what men are like, or maybe that's just the way you guys do things here. I sure don't want my girlfriend to think I'm perving on her daughter's breasts, or somehow trying to say that it's only okay when I look at them. But I just don't think it's a good idea for her to be doing that in front of people she doesn't even know. So what do you think? Would it do any good to mention it or just shut up about it? Okay, Mr. Mortified, I really do understand your dilemma, and I'll do my best to get you some clarity. I know it seems hypocritical, and that's because it kind of is. They're the same boobs either way, so why is it okay to show them in public if you have a baby, but get yelled at for doing the same thing without a baby? And even though it might seem surprising in a conservative culture like ours, public breastfeeding has been normal here for thousands of years. In the US, it's gaining acceptance, but it still has a long way to go. I seriously doubt you'll see Marge from down the street going topless at your neighborhood 4th of July celebration as she feeds the baby in one arm while eating apple pie in the other. In the West, that's a different kind of party. But yes, it's not such a big deal in the Philippines. It's not polite to stare, but everyone kind of knows that guys are gonna do it anyway. The same thing happened to me when my mom decided to breastfeed my little brother in front of about 50 people at a local gathering. Thinking back on it, it actually surprised me a little too, but I quickly learned that in our culture, having a baby gives you a free pass to unleash the Golden Globes. Now, as long as your girlfriend's aware of it and doesn't mind, then she's probably not gonna do anything about it. If you do mention it, make sure you frame the conversation in such a way that she knows you're just concerned about her daughter's safety. Tell her it worries you that some guy might have a little too much to drink and take an unhealthy liking to her daughter. If you put it like that, you'll be the hero instead of the perv. Good luck keeping everything under wraps, and thanks for the memories. So our next email is from Abe in Illinois. Abe says, Dear P, I'm not sure about the proper protocol for asking your advice, but I see your mailbag videos, so I'm guessing I just send you an email? Yep, that's exactly right. Just send me an email at filipinap@gmail.com and put the word mailbag in the subject line. I can't guarantee I'll answer every single one, but I'll do my best. Anyway, he says, So my Filipina is a provincial girl who basically moved to the city. Her family is very traditional and she's painfully shy. I went to visit, and the first day I was there, I ate a bakery thing she bought for me to try out, and spent the first 4 days glued to the toilet, and then I got a cold with fever, which lasted the whole 2 weeks. During that time, she was amazing. Even though I was supposed to meet her mom first, she came over to take care of me. She cooked, cleaned, and then mostly hid in the guest bedroom. The weird thing is, it took a whole week before she would even give me a hug. And even that was painfully awkward. After a few more days, she loosened up a little and we started getting closer. She'd cuddle with me sometimes, but every morning it was like taking 2 steps back, and she was shy again until being around each other half the day. She mostly just writes to me in chat messages because she's not confident in speaking English, even when we're cuddling up together. I left early this morning and still no kissing or anything else for that matter. Kissing is something you do on the first date or at least on the second date. But she says she's too shy and it's too soon, and she won't even let me touch her face because it's too intimate. She says I should court her longer because she's traditional, and I wouldn't understand because I'm a wild American. One time when we were chatting, she did say she fell for me, but since then, she avoided actually saying anything sweet or love-related. But she's very consistent in showing love by wanting to do things for me and always speaking at me and smiling and looking away, and always covering her mouth with her hand. I guess I'm just wondering if a Filipina can actually be that shy and traditional, even after the whole 2 weeks together, and not even willing to give me a little kiss, or does that mean that she doesn't know how to tell me she's just not that into me? Thanks for your help, and you rock. Abe. You might not know it yet, but I think you found what almost every Western man is looking for. Take a step back and take a good long look. She takes care of you. She doesn't ask for money. She probably has very little history with other men, and she's so shy, she won't even let you touch her face yet. For many guys, she's the mythical unicorn you all say you want. A pure, old-fashioned woman unspoiled by modern culture, and all she's asking you to do is give her time. Time to open up to you and give herself to you. From where you sit, it might sound like she's so shy that you'll never even get to first base, but that's a very small price to pay for the gift you're about to receive. This is the kind of woman that'll stay with you till death do you part. This is the kind of woman men spend their whole lives looking for and most never find. She wants you to court her slowly. If you have genuine feelings for her, then I suggest you do exactly that. And don't worry so much about that first kiss. When it finally comes, it'll be one you're not likely to forget. You can thank me later. Best of luck, Abe, and please let us all know what happens, okay? So our next email is from Dick, who doesn't say where he's from. Dick says, Hi P, I love watching your YouTube videos, and I know this subject has popped up before, but it's a problem I seem to be having. I've been using Christian Filipina for a couple months now, and I keep getting no responses from any ladies. I keep my messages polite and I pay compliments to the ladies I message, but to no avail. And now I'm thinking I must be really ugly. I'm 46, so I'm no spring chicken, and the ideal age for me would be between 35 and 50. I have no family, so I've got nothing to lose at home, and I'm happy to adopt the culture of the Philippines. But before that happens, I need to find a lady first. So why won't they respond? I must be the only guy in the entire universe that's so repulsive to women, and I just don't know what to do about it. I included my photo so you can see for yourself and tell me what my chances are. Yours truly, Dick. Well, I did ask you guys not to send me any dick pics, but in your case, I suppose it was necessary. And after looking at it, I can safely say that your appearance isn't the problem. And it's almost never the problem. You could literally look like Shrek and still get responses from Filipinas. In fact, the average guy gets about 200 responses in the first few days on a dating site here, so something else is going on. Maybe there's something strange about your profile that's turning women off, which is weird because most women don't even read profiles. They just search for new members and try to snatch you up before someone else does. You could literally have a completely blank profile, no photo, no wording, and you're still gonna be contacted by Filipinas that say, I really loved your amazing profile. Wanna chat? So I don't think it's that. Did you mean you're not getting any responses at all or just not enough responses? If you haven't gotten any, it's probably a technical glitch. Like maybe your profile isn't visible to other members. Maybe you could contact the website for help and see what they say. If you want, you can email me your entire profile and I'll go over it word by word, just to be sure there's nothing weird in there. I'll do that tune-up for you and we'll get you back on the track in no time. So now it's time for our final email of the day from Sean in Canada. Sean says, Miss P, I'm facing a unique situation and would value your perspective. I'm a 53-year-old man who's planning to go to the Philippines next year for both early retirement and the possibility of finding love. Over the Christmas break, I explored the dating scene on Filipino Cupid. Oh, you guys and your dating sites. While I encountered a couple of obvious scammers early on, I connected with a 25-year-old single mother from Samar. We've developed a strong emotional connection over the past few months, and I've offered her a little financial assistance, particularly during difficult times like the loss of her father and her birthday. I understand the potential risk, but I genuinely believe she's sincere. She comes from a large family, and one of her sisters is also in a relationship with a foreigner. She has a 3-year-old son, and his father left when she became pregnant. I planned a 9-day trip, and she's going to meet me at the Manila airport. We'll travel together to Tagaytay, Baguio, and then back to Manila, spending 3 nights in each location. This is where I need your advice. We've established a deep emotional connection and discussed our future, including marriage. We use affectionate terms like my love, but we haven't been sexually explicit in our communications. My dilemma is the timing of intimacy. In a typical relationship of this duration, intimacy would be expected, but I'm concerned about rushing things or appearing disrespectful. I'm unsure whether to initiate intimacy on the first night or wait and let the first time happen organically. I also worry that a lack of physical connection might make her feel rejected. I'm also aware that sexual compatibility is crucial for me, especially after my previous sexless marriage to a Western woman. I need to know if that aspect of the relationship will work before making a long-term commitment, and I only have 9 days to find out. I don't want to make it seem like our relationship is contingent on the sexual aspect alone, but how do I make her understand that this is an area we need to explore while we can? I suspect you'll advise me to play it by ear and let things unfold naturally, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I do have strong feelings for her and I genuinely see a long-term future together. Thanks for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Sean. Okay, Sean, I think I hear you loud and clear, and even though it might sound like I'm gonna give you the same advice I gave the other guy, I'm not. And here's why. He was dating a very traditional woman who was begging to take things slowly, but not all Filipinas are the same, and your situation sounds a lot different. First of all, she's a single mom from a big family, and her sister's already dating a foreigner. So I'm sure your girlfriend's heard all about the differences in having a relationship with a Western guy. Unlike the other situation, where the man was supposed to meet the girl's mother first, you mentioned that your girlfriend is willing to meet you at the airport and go traveling around the country with you alone. To me, that's a slightly different kind of Filipina. Not better or worse, just different. She sounds more independent, and she's probably a little more worldly. Since you know exactly what you want from this trip, I don't see anything wrong with being direct about your wishes. Reminder that it's really difficult to fly around the planet to meet someone. And since you only have 9 days to get to know each other fully, you want to fill in all the blanks in your relationship, so you can both agree that you want to continue. Part of the process is experiencing the chemistry between you, which is vitally important. So you look forward to bonding with her in all levels, including the physical. That kind of wording should be crystal clear, even to a Filipina. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think you're gonna have a problem anyway. Here's what I think is gonna happen. On the very first night, she's gonna seduce you no matter what you say, and the only way you could offend her is by refusing. She already knows the score, and she's not about to let a golden opportunity slip through her fingers. It's not every day that a Filipina gets a chance at a once-in-a-lifetime job interview. And that's the way we see it. It's a job interview. So she intends to get hired even if she has to sleep with the boss. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's the way it is. And I have a strong feeling that you're about to have a very enjoyable vacation. Let me know if I was right, okay, Sean? Well, that's it for this episode, and I'll be back on Friday with something new. In the meantime, join me on my Patreon page, where I chat with you folks in real time every single day, and post exclusive videos about my life and adventures that never get shown on YouTube. So if you want a little extra P in your life, come see me on Patreon. Till then, folks. Just one last thing before you go. If you think about it, I'm kind of like your bartender, listening to your comments and questions, giving you advice when I can, and brewing up some intoxicating content for your enjoyment. The only thing I ask in return is a small tip in the form of a thumbs up on this video, subscribing to my channel, sharing this video with friends, and hitting the notification bell so you know when your next round has been poured. I promise, it'll only take 10 seconds to do, and your tip will make my day. You wouldn't want to shaft your bartender, would you? And for last call, why not enjoy some of my other videos too? See you real soon!